Hey guys, what's up? What's going on? And welcome back to the channel. Well, we had just a little bit of, and even more mishap. We had just a little bit of issues last night with the second gen. Batteries were dead in it. I don't know exactly what happened on Sunday or Monday. Was going to drive the truck, but the batteries are dead. Tried to jump it with the NOCO and actually ran the NOCO dead just because of the grid heater and stuff like that. A field is what it was. So I put the battery charger on it and then left it sit for a day. Come home yesterday from work and went over there and truck fire dried up. Made it probably about 2 miles down the road and it stopped, and we had to have it towed home, as you can see from the thumbnail. So got the battery charger back on it, and I did pull the codes out of the ECM through just turning the key back and forth. I don't have a code reader for this, and the SO6 for the dually will not work because of, I really don't know why. It's 03 and up. I don't know what's different. I wasn't going to try it. So what I've done is I pulled all the codes out of the truck, and this is what we have here. We have a PCU, which is the throttle position sensor, is a 0122, and then this is the 1693, just a companion code. It tells that there is other codes within the PCU and the ECU. And then there again, you can see that the 1693, we have two glow fault codes. We have an injection pump code or circuit code, and then we have a code for no communication between the ECM and the injection pump. So at this point, it could be a few different things. It could be a wiring harness. It could be an ECM. It could be relays, it could be a fuse. So just kind of going to go through tonight and try and see what the issue actually is. I do already know that it's not the fuel relay right here. The fuel relay and the horn relay are the same, so we can actually see horn works. And I did switch these around last night and tried it, and still no start on the truck. So, and you see that in a lot of forums. I mean, I knew that before I looked it up. That's why I tried that right away when I got home last night. I was just in the middle of traffic, so I just had everything towed. I didn't try it yesterday. And you can hear the horn working there again. So there is another fuse. There's an engine fuse. Most of the time, that's what they recommend you do your edge comp box on, is fuse number 9. It's a 10 amp fuse, and you can see that fuse is good too. So we'll put that back in place. So I'm just gonna have to go through now. I'm gonna pull the plug off of the back of the VP44 and back in there, and I'm going to test pin 7 to see if there's 12 volts coming into the VP44, and then also check to make sure that we got a good ground. I already do have my power probe over here, so I can check it. So I just got to get that unplugged so we can check and see if we have power. And I printed this off because it is kind of hard to see. This is the plug on your VP44. It'll actually sit on the truck just like that. They talk about, you know, it looks like a smiley face. There's your eyes and nose and a mouth. So you can see right here is pin 7 and pin 6. Pin 7 will be on top and 6 is on the bottom, and it's the closest 2 pins to your engine. So when you pull this plug out of there like that, this is what you see. Then you got your signal and then your RPM. And that's one other thing I did check too. I do have tach signal, so I don't feel that it's cam or crank sensor at this point in time. I don't know, but I'm pretty certain it's not the cam or crank sensor. I'm thinking that I'm thinking that it is the, I don't know, we're just gonna have to check and see. I don't know if it's an ECM issue, or I don't know if it's a VP issue. So you know, the VPs are great until the electronics go out on them, and other than that, they suck as far as electronics. I mean, I do like the VP44 pump. I think it's a good injection pump, as long as you keep them wet. But keeping them wet has nothing to do with the electronics. So gonna go through, I'm gonna pull that plug off. We'll check, see if I have power to pin 7. You should have that just at key on or at start. Either way, you should have 12 volts at 7. And then with the power probe, I can check pin 6 and it'll tell me if I have ground by lighting up green. And then it'll also, if I have power, it will light up red. As you can see right there, it lights up red and shows 12.2 volts. It lights up green for a ground. So let's get that VP unplugged and check and see if we have power coming in with key on. All right, with a screwdriver or something, go right in here to unplug these. There is a piece right here where you can see where that yellow tag is. You pull that out. If you can't get it out, you can stick a screwdriver in there up against the VP itself and give it a little pry. And then as soon as you have that loose, that plug should pop right out of there like that. And you can see what I was talking about right there with the smiley face. It's right side up, it's the right way for you. You can see the 2 eyes, the nose, and the mouth. So right now with my power probe, I should not have any power to pin 7, which would be the one on the top. Okay, that was gonna be the one on the bottom as it's on there. So you can see there's a good ground. And we have nothing to that pin. So I'll go in and turn the key on, and then we should have power to pin 7 then. Right there, you can hopefully you can see that there's 11.6 volts going to pin 7, and we still got good ground. We can pretty much tell that it's not an ECU issue, that it's probably a VP issue. There is another way we can do a test. I don't have any wires made up, but I'll show you that here in just a minute. Alright, now I'm really puzzled. I had the key on, and when I went to plug the VP back in, I could hear the pump signal or the pump solenoid you know, clicking on and off, or the VP clicking on and off. So I'm not 100% certain anymore if it's the VP, and unless there's something else going on inside there. The only thing that I haven't done, I'm the only one home right now, and I was the only one home last night. I haven't cracked like number 1 while cranking the engine over to make sure that we do have, or we don't have, fuel going to each individual cylinder. Probably number 1 would be suffice. I don't know. I'm at a loss. Anybody has any suggestions, please let me know in the comment section. I'm gonna have to do a little bit more research on it and kind of go from there. There's one more issue, or one more thing that I actually can do, and that is actually take 2 leads. We can power the VP up from just battery. If you take 2 battery or two leads with alligators, if you take a spade connector and cut everything off except for 1 curl, that is just about the right size where you can plug in pin 6 and pin 7, 7 being your power pin and 6 being your ground pin. When you do that, you do want to make sure and put a fuse in there, you know, an inline fuse in there, at least a 10 amp fuse, just in case you would have any issues. I could actually use my power probe too, or power probe also, but it's only a point and an alligator clip, so you really, that's really, you know, I'd have to sit there and hold it while somebody tries to start the engine. With this way, you can plug those in, you know, 7 going to your power, or to the positive side of your battery, 6 going to the negative side of your battery, and the truck should start and run by doing that if the VP is good. If it's not good, then obviously it's not going to start. That would give you an 100% accurate answer if your VP is good or bad. So if that is good, then you need to look elsewhere as far as, you know, an ECU problem or an ECM problem, whatever you want to call it. When you guys do some research online, make sure that you're finding everything that you need. I did find out today, or did see some things today as far as the VP plug. There were some different pins in different locations, so depending upon what source you were looking at. So anyway, just wanted to throw that in there. One other thing, if you were going to do this on a constant basis, Thoroughbred actually makes what's called a breakout box, and it has a VP plug on it that you can plug right in the back of there. It gets powered from a battery, and then you can start and run the engine with that breakout box. And it has a high idle button on it, and then it also has a kill button on it, and that'll tell you if your VP is good or bad. I mean, that would be for somebody that is going to be doing this on a day-by-day basis and constantly working on, you know, on the VP style truck or on the Cummins platform. So I think for tonight, that's pretty much all I'm going to do. I do have to go in and do some more research on this. Probably going to have to check the cam sensor and the crank sensor. But like I was saying, I do have a tach signal, so who knows. But just wanted to show you guys what was going on, kind of update you. I didn't post any pictures yesterday of the truck up on the tow truck, or we were on a busy ass road, and it was actually a pain in the ass to get the truck loaded up on the flatbed. So I think that with being said, I'm gonna go in, grab some supper. Starting to get dark, starting to get cold. My fingers are very cold. So in the meantime, guys, if you don't mind, hit that like button, give me a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't already done so, and we'll talk to you guys later on. Bye-bye.